Well, hi there, Mary and Eric. You know, it really was a privilege to be here and to see this. Just a handful of us were here, and I have to say, it was so emotional. I can't tell you how many people I saw crying. I was covering this on Twitter. A lot of people were responding, saying they were bawling, seeing this day actualized. And I have to tell you, 13 people vaccinated today. Each one of them, the crowd applauding and cheering when they got their shot. If I were to sum this up in one word today, hope.
I feel excited, and for the first time in a while, I feel hope that there is an end coming to this.
Hope came to UW Medicine and the larger community in a tiny syringe. 13 frontline healthcare workers at UW Medicine, including some of their partners, among the very first to get the Pfizer vaccine. Harborview's ICU nurse, Amy Fry, was first. She works the ICU with COVID patients.
We've seen a lot of terrible things there.
Fry's been working the ICU COVID unit since the pandemic began.
It's a horrible, horrible disease.
One of the hardest parts has been seeing the amount of suffering.
Harborview's Dr. Ong has spent the last 9 months going to long-term care home facilities to provide care. He too rolled up his sleeve and grew emotional, taking in the moment and thinking of the reaction from his patients.
And the look of desperation of, can I come with you?
Long-term care patients and staff are first in line too. UW Medicine is encouraging all of its staff when the time is right to get vaccinated.
This will give a lot of peace of mind to me and my coworkers.
Joseph's environmental service job puts him on the front lines too.
I deal with a lot of the biomedical waste that runs through the hospital. Most of it autoclave, sterilization machine basically. I'm right there with it, you know, touching every bit of it.
Each of them over the last 9 months risking their own lives to save others.
They are the true stars and heroes of our fight against this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, Mary, the big question tonight is whether or not that sweep's actually going to happen. We went inside the camp and found out that not everybody at the park is on the same page.
Barricades now surround the tent city that's existed even before CHOP.
I've seen you here for months, practically.
190 days.
I went inside without lights. Turning them on brings only trouble.
So here it is on the eve of the sweep, and normally sweeps you'd see people getting ready and prepped to go, but nobody is getting ready to go. What's the mood like right now?
It's a little tense.
Oberon did not want his face shown because there's a divide between the campers and the direct action marchers that confront police. They're the ones who have set up the barricades around the camp.
They're the new element that's going to bring on a confrontation.
Well, yeah, the way that they've done things has created a hazard to others. And that's one of the few things that can get us swept right now, is being a hazard to ourselves or others.
During the day, the place looks like a mess.
I'm picking up trash right now because the people are denied access to basic sanitation by the mayor's office, by the Office of Public Health.
The mayor said it's time to reopen the park. Tomorrow morning's 7:30 cleanup call with police is not expected to go smoothly.
What are you going to do tomorrow morning?
Well, I don't really want to show my hand, but we'll see.
Well, it's definitely a long time coming. People in the science, medical, and health fields say they can't wait for the FDA to approve the Moderna vaccine.
It is history making.
Work on the Moderna vaccine right here in Seattle and around the world has helped make history.
It's been an incredible global effort demonstrating what science can do when the resources are there.
30,000 volunteers worldwide, including many here in Seattle, participated in clinical trials. Jennifer Haller of Seattle was the first to get the vaccine. Rochelle Dickerson was among the last volunteers during phase 3 clinical safety trials for Moderna.
I'm excited that it looks like it's going to happen.
With Moderna on the verge of getting emergency use authorization from the FDA.
Feels like a bit of a relief that we might have a game changer and be able to do something about this pandemic.
A preliminary review from the FDA indicates that the 2-dose vaccine is more than 94% effective. Analysis by the FDA says the vaccine developed by Moderna and the National Institutes of Health is highly effective and safe. Dr. Jim Kublin is executive director of CoVPN, the COVID-19 Prevention Network, based at Fred Hutchinson in Seattle. He and his team oversee the efficacy and safety of the COVID-19 vaccine trials at 200 sites worldwide.
Those of us who have been working on this now for 8 months really are excited by these results. We're energized. We still have other studies to start for phase 3 efficacy testing of other vaccine platforms. We're hoping that one will start tomorrow. And we need to continue these efforts through the winter, such that by next summer, we all have access to a vaccine.
Both the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines use a very similar mechanism called mRNA to trigger an immune response to coronavirus. As a result, doctors I talked to tell me there are no major differences between these two vaccines, and they encourage people to get whichever vaccine is first available to them.
So I'd like to know which vaccine I'm receiving, or will we know ahead of time?
Alan Shoemake is eager for life to return to normal, looking forward to getting a COVID-19 vaccine. But he wants to know if patients can choose which vaccine they'd get.
Can we choose to go somewhere else if we want a different vaccine?
Doctors I interviewed say both the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines are highly effective. Experts believe that both vaccines prevent against severe disease and say it's premature to say which vaccine is better than the other on that issue.
I think we just don't have enough information to say. And so the vaccine that I will be choosing is going to be the one that's available and ready to go.
Dr. Seth Cohen, UW Medical Director for Infection Prevention, says both the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines produce similar short-term side effects like those of the flu vaccine and other shots. Cohen says these symptoms are a sign that our bodies are developing immunity to coronavirus.
The common side effects to both of them are headache, fatigue, fever, some soreness at your injection site. And again, that's really because they're so effective and they really, rev up your immune system.
Cohen says he and his colleagues at UW aren't planning on recommending a particular vaccine over another to their patients. He and other doctors advise their patients to get whichever safe and effective vaccine is available to them.
I think it'll probably be challenging to choose between one or the other just based on availability.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking out our YouTube page. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell from the KOMO weather team. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for additional news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't ever miss our YouTube updates.